expectations. The expectations portion is so, so critical. Don't ever forget that people live up to or down to the expectations you hold of them. Think about the teacher that made the greatest impact on you in your life. Was it the teacher that said, oh, come to class, don't come to class, I don't care what you do, it doesn't matter? It was the teacher who said, you can do more, you can do better, I expect the world of you. It's those expectations, the high expectations. We're terrible in this sector about having high expectations. We think because many of our board members are volunteer that we can't expect that much. Terrible, terrible, terrible. And we do this in so many ways. It can be the fact that we don't give people the big picture. They don't need to know that. We don't ask them what's important to them. We don't take and really credit the questions they have. We brush these things off, or we take jobs away from them. They didn't do it fast enough. I'll take that on. And board chairs do this for other board members. Some leaders of subcommittees will do this because the rest of the board can't be bothered. And all we've done is give them permission not to work. So it reinforces that they don't have to work. And if we want board members who are going to do something for us, the first thing we have to do is sit down and say, what is it we want? What are our expectations? What are our expectations about attendance at meetings? About reading those packets before they come to a meeting? That they will ask questions, that they will challenge. What are our expectations about sitting on committees, about raising funds, about whatever it is? What are our expectations? So now, when we talk to a potential board member, before we've ever, somebody said, well, we have a competitive process. And it's really hard sometimes because then when we don't take them onto the board, it doesn't look good. True. But we have to be very clear to people that it is a competitive process because people want to be with winners. They don't want to be with the people who say, please, please, please join our board. You don't have to do anything. They want to be where it takes time, where it takes energy, because they know that they won out, that it was competitive, and they got a top position. All right? The more competitive you make service on your board, the more people who will be, the more good people who will be vying to be a part of your organization. So you have to make it competitive, and you have to tell people when you first talk with them, we have a very competitive process. I can't tell you that you're going to be accepted onto this board. I want to know from you what you think you bring. I'm not going to sell you on being part of our board. I want to know what you're bringing. All right? And here are our expectations. Very clear. Now the group meets and you decide, yes, I want Len. So I go back to Len and I say, Len, we would love to have you join our board. We think you have a lot to offer. Before you say yes, I just want to reiterate what our expectations are. And he says, yes, I still would be interested in joining your board. So now I write him a letter. And I say, Dear Len, thank you for saying yes. I'm really happy that you said yes. Here are our expectations. If you look at it as these are just volunteers, that message is going to go loud and clear. You want to communicate this is key. This is important. You're doing real work, and you get real work in return. By the way, you go over those expectations again at your orientation session. And you go over them again at budget time, or you go over them again at board meetings. It's got to be reiterated, and not only reiterated, there have to be consequences if people don't live up to the expectations. You committed to doing this. If you're not going to do it, you're gone. because there are other good people waiting in line. And that kind of a thing is just really, really important.